We'll get going. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's special council meeting on August the 14th, 2023. Individuals interested in participating in this meeting could register online using the delegation registration form at www.kitchener.ca/delegation or via email at delegation@kitchener.ca. Any written comments received prior to this meeting have been circulated with members of council and will form part of the public record. The meeting live stream and archived videos are available at www.kitchener.ca/watchnow. Before we begin this afternoon's meeting, I'd like to acknowledge that today we're gathering on the traditional territory of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. We recognize our responsibility to serve as stewards for the land and honor the original caretakers who came before us. Our community is enriched by the enduring knowledge and deep-rooted traditions of the diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit in Kitchener today. Colleagues, before we begin the special council meeting, I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge and recognize one of our colleagues in our neighboring municipality who passed away yesterday. And I will read from the statement issued by the City of Cambridge. Councillor Donna Reid, who served the residents of Ward 1 since 2010, passed away this morning just before 6 a.m. at Grand River Hospital. It's with a great sadness that I extend our deepest condolences on behalf of the City of Cambridge and Cambridge City Council to Donna's family and close friends. Donna was known for her advocacy for more inclusive policies and practices within municipal government. She fiercely protected the rights of women and championed the causes of her constituents, and she leaves a wonderful legacy in our city. Councillor Reid is remembered for her work in making Cambridge an age-friendly city and supporting initiatives like free menstrual supplies in city facilities, the work of the Canadian Federation of University Women in Cambridge, and advocating for equity, diversity, and inclusion for all. Born in Woodstock, Donna's family moved to Preston when she was 16 years old, and she has lived in Cambridge since then. Donna was a retired teacher from the Waterloo Region District School Board and served as Executive Director of the Waterloo County Women Teachers Association, as well as countless other organizations such as Cambridge Women's Crisis Shelter, Planned Parenthood, the Cara Community Club, and the Waterloo County Women Teachers Associations. She joined City Council in 2010 as a Ward 1 councillor and consistently applied her personal values and experiences to her work within her ward and across the city. She was re-elected to the office of councillor for Ward 1 in the 2022 municipal election. Flags at Cambridge City Hall have been lowered to half-mast in Councillor Reid's honour, and a book of condolences has been set up and made available in City Hall. It's my understanding that the memorial service for Councillor Reid will be taking place on Friday afternoon in Cambridge City Hall. And I'll just add before we stand up for a moment of silence, I know many of us had the opportunity over the past number of years to work with Councillor Reid, whether it was at the all-council meetings, whether it was on initiatives that cross boundaries between our two communities, or whether it was, for example, for some of the women on council at things like the Women's Campaign School. I know she was a strong advocate of a number of issues, some of which I've mentioned, and she certainly worked hard to make sure that through her work nobody was left behind in her community. And so I'd now ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence to recognize our colleague. Thank you. Okay, are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? There being none, Councillor Singh. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think I may have one. I haven't seen the full aspect of the report, but the fire hall for downtown.
Okay, so Noted for the...
Fire station development land acquisition. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's written in the public.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, thank you.
statement.
I don't have that in front of me, so it's just... Okay, thank you. So make sure you fill out the appropriate paperwork. Thank you for any other conflicts? Kidoki. We'll now move on to item number 4. I did want to take this opportunity to publicly address the issue that has come as a result of the change in legislation with respect to Ontario Regulation 530/22, which designates municipalities that are subject to the special powers and duties of the head of council under the Municipal Act. And as of July 1st, this regulation has come into effect, adding 26 additional municipalities in addition to Toronto and Ottawa, which previously had them. I think, as council is aware, the regulation outlines the reasons or provisional or provincial priorities where those duties are expected to be exercised, including building 1.5 million new residential units by December 31st, 2031, constructing, maintaining infrastructure to support housing, including transit, roads, utilities, and servicing. We've been working with staff and the clerk and Mr. Chapman to fully understand these, and I know Ms. Fusco has also been working with her other clerk counterparts across the province, particularly Toronto and Ottawa, to learn from each of these issues. And we know there's a number of things that can be delegated and some which can't as part of this. From my perspective, I believe that we've had a collaborative arrangement on this council during my time on council, and as I've said publicly many times before, we've had a collaborative arrangement, I think, in the 17 years that Mayor Zare was on council prior to that, and so I don't see a reason to change that at the present time. And so I'm just advising everyone that I am signing documents to delegate the appointment of the CAO to council. So in other words, it will continue in the manner it has been up till now. Council will select, review, and hopefully never have to deal with any other personnel issues pertaining to the CAO, and so that will continue to be a council priority. The decisions to reorganize the city and employment powers will continue to be delegated to the CAO, as they have been in a manner such as we've operated thus far. Quite frankly, the CAO consults with me on any sort of major issues, and it's my assumption that will continue, and council will continue to play a role if we're ever looking, hopefully we won't be looking anytime soon for any of the department heads, but council has in the past had a role in the selection of those department heads, and in my view will continue to play a role in in the selection of those department heads. Also, in terms of establishing and any standing committees and appointing chairs and vice chairs, I also believe that this should continue with the folks that we have in place, and that the process should continue as it has in the past in that regard. So I just wanted to share that publicly so that there's transparency to it. There will be a new section added to the website where these decisions and any other decisions will be formalized. There's a process where after all bylaws are approved, I have to waive any veto rights that come with that, and once that occurs, then the bylaws are finalized, and they will also be listed on the web page going forward. So just wanted to share that again. I believe we've had a collaborative working relationship during my time on council, and I look forward to continuing to work with this council in that manner going forward. So with that, we'll now move to the in-camera meeting authorization. Does somebody care to move the items listed? Councillor Michaud and Councillor Deneau. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. We'll need to rise and report later. Okay, so a motion to recess. Councillor Clancy, Councillor Johnson. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you.